what should we not talk. And yeah, there are a couple of questions. Let me see. I'll upload that in the same folder. I am Prakash ji. Welcome back. How's your vacation?
Yes, sir. It's a fantastic discussion. So it is a
Nice.
Geno
Oh, yes,
Sankota.
you mentioned that. Yes, you mentioned that. So it was in Rajasthan, right?
Yes, sir. Rajasthan Kota.
Yeah. Oh, Kota.
Yes, sir.
So famous place for the students, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
we have Netflix series also Kota Factory.
yes, yes, sir. So
Yeah.
this is a positive and negative is everywhere. So yes, as a student are achieve their dreams is that
Yeah.
plus something is the minus is also they are involved in the other things the student does not achieve his dream because they are involving in the other things because they are the affim drugs narcotics things
Oh.
growing is also in Kota nearby. So Jhalarai Patan and Jhalabad district, there are the Afim growing agricultural lands there. So
Mhm.
my many friends where he's growing the Afim in his place, and daily evening time they have the uh, reporting to the narcotics department. So some drugs are imported to the Kota for the rich family. They are consuming, they enjoying. Yeah,
Okay.
every student not going for the achieve the dream. They are just spend the times. So that's is issues
Got
there.
it.
Rajiv ji, request. Could you please go
Yes.
over access to the what you call the place where you have everything stored one more time because there are so many people here,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and then maybe you can we all can give him right now our emails and he can give us the access.
Yes. That let's do that. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will explain about these two folders, like what we have in those folders. Okay, so let me quickly go through my Google Drive and then let me share my screen. Okay. So the screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So in this one, I have a couple of folders. Right? One is resume template. Okay. This is like a resume template where we also have a template for cover letter, right? And what should be there in the cover letter. So, for example,
Devendra,
Yes,
Devendra, please mute. Background sound is coming from your side. Devendra, mute.
sure, sure.
yeah. So there are like different types of templates, right? Mostly your resume should not be more than 2 pages. Try to keep it like minimized, right? It's a, for freshers, it should be definitely 1 page, 1 page of resume. Okay, so you can go through this template, right? What to write, like how, where you will find your skill sets, where to write those things. Right? Like last time also we spoke like what we should write and what we should not write, right? Like your hobbies, your personal details, like those things should not be there. Your percentage in board exams or anything, no, we should not. It doesn't matter. Right? Do not put it, right. If it is really exceptional, you can put it, but yeah, not the percentage and other things. Those things should not be there. Okay, and we discussed, right? So email, try to get something with your first name, last name. If you can get it, this that's better. Or put some numbers. It should not, and definitely your first name, last name should be there in your email. Some numbers is fine. Like if you do not find it, right? And then LinkedIn profile is also good way to attach it over here with your hyperlink. Right, I created. I have a couple of others. Say for like this. Right, so there will be LinkedIn profile. So you can put that, uh, or not that hyperlink. Then complete LinkedIn. Let me see in this one. In this case, just write this one and put it there. This number. This is important, right? So people can go and find you. So in this folder, we have bunch of resume template, whichever template you find. There is also with the same template, we also have cover letter. So in this, if you're following this one, then it's like not very specific, very choosy I am. But see, if I am applying to Boston Consulting or any other where the theme, their logo is kind of this, then probably it's more kind of fancy things. But you can change your color accordingly. It doesn't make much impact, but it looks much better, right? So you are using that color and everything accordingly. So you can go through this folder. There are a bunch of examples. I will keep adding more whenever I get some more details. And then we also discussed about cover letter, right? This is also very important. If somebody is asking for the cover letter, this is your chance to emphasize your skill sets, any specific skill sets, which will be related to your the job description. Right? We also discussed we should not float our resume on any job website. The best way to find or to apply is create your Excel file, put all those companies name wherever you want to target, the details of the job requirement, and put at least 5 to 10 bullet points from the job description to your resume, right? How to get it, right? We also discussed chat gpt. In chat gpt, put your
Good
description.
evening, sir.
Hello. Yeah. So in chat gpt you can, hello, hi, right? So in chat gpt you can put create a resume and copy paste from LinkedIn the job details. Let's say if I have to create a resume, so these are the tips, right? You can find, the system will automatically create resume for you. You don't have to follow that same resume. But let's say I'm just looking something here, like anything. In chat gpt, tell chat gpt create a resume for SAP OTC consultant, right? If you can also type it a full thing, right? All those job descriptions, and system will create a resume for you. So what you have to do? You have to get couple of points. You don't have to copy things here from here, but it will give you basic ideas. So get that basic ideas from here, and then update, like you see here. Once it will start, I'll talk about, right? So here, get see these technical skill sets, and then couple of more, which you have, if you have already worked in that area, you will know it better. But this will help. You can see if your resume does not have these key skill sets which company is looking for, then your resume will not be selected through AI. Right now, it's not like resume recruiters are looking for all resumes. They are using AI. So an AI is looking for these keywords in your resume. Whatever keywords you see here, uh, and then right, you can take technical help from ChatGPT. Okay, instead of going all those things by yourself, use AI, right, and then put in these templates. Okay. So Amarnath ji, we have one folder for this one, right? Resume template. I have created one more. This is more for executive vocabulary, right? If you want to improve your vocabulary, right? This is for the corporate world. This one is a good book I found, and then I have also uploaded couple of MP3 recordings, like so you can go through that. This is also very helpful, right? To use these words during your interview. This is like more kind of like power words. Put my status outside. I'll keep getting these chats. Okay, so these power words you can use for an interview. I'll also probably, you need anything, it's not, it's like more kind of optional thing. If you want to extend it, you can get it, right? These things you can also listen the pronunciation, American pronunciation, how to use these words, okay, in your uh, daily usage, right? Or can use that one. So that's another folder. And third one is more like for SAP training, right? SAP for beginners. So here we have books and then bunch of training videos, right? From introduction itself. Right? Introduction, if you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, like how to set up the GUI and everything. You don't have to go through all, but yeah. Based on this book, you can follow that, right? Based on this book, you are looking for these videos. So if you can ping me your email IDs or you can ask, you can go through this Google folder and then ask for that access, and then I'll provide that access. So let me share, copy
So
link.
Pankaj, please put together a list of emails for Rajiv. He doesn't have to do it right now, so that he
Yeah.
can just do it later.
Yes. Yeah. So then, yes, I can provide all those folder access, right? Executive vocabulary is optional, but definitely for job seekers, this resume template. And then if you want to learn SAP, right? SAP for beginners is a good one. Can start. And this one, I have this book also. This is a really nice book. This is kind of Bible for OTC consultants. If you want to learn order to cash, even though it's little old version of SAP, but in background most of these configuration things are same. We will look into those configurations and couple of talk about master data.
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन।
हेलो।
कैसे हैं राजीव जी?
बस बढ़िया।
आई होप मैंने ज्यादा मिस नहीं किया अभी।
नहीं, we will just doing recap. नहीं ज्यादा
ओके,
कुछ।
थैंक यू।
Okay, so today's agenda will be, we'll talk, we'll just recap like whatever we discussed about SAP. Right? We discussed at SAP, and then we also discussed about history, right? ERP, JD Edward, we discussed about JD Edward, Ban, PeopleSoft, Oracle, and SAP, S400, other softwares, right? We discussed about over 60% of companies in Fortune 500 use SAP. Okay.
जी
So today I'll log in into SAP. So did we get a chance to look into that book? Anybody? Can you want to talk? Anybody, like what do you learn from there? That book, particular book? Any transactions or anything, or any history or anything you want to talk? And then I also promised last time, right? I'm working with SAP right now to get access of for all of you into a cloud platform of CPQ. CPQ is another good skill sets. Configure price quote. So probably next week we'll also see that. If you search here SAP CPQ, and then a bunch of videos you can also get free of charges. And then if you'll explore SAP products, SAP also gives you some demo kind of access free of charge. Right? So you can also look for that. If you're interested to learn any specific module, you can go for it. And this is really hot right now, getting to learn a SAP CPQ. And then we also discussed last time, right? In SAP, usually right, you will not be working on all modules, right? That doesn't happen. You will be working on any specific module. Okay, and then we discussed about that, like any of these modules, like a person can be expert only in one of these modules. You don't have to be expert. But nowadays, right, if you are expert in one area, that is fine. But if you if you have that exposure in other areas too, like CPQ. CPQ is configure price code. Right? What is CPQ? So I'll give you an example. If you are buying a Dell computer, a Dell laptop, okay. So let's go there, and then I'll come to that. What buy Dell So if you are buying, so let's say
Good evening, sir.
hello. So if you see this particular website, right? So you can see this different product lines, like latitude. If you want to search it, and then it will filter it out. Okay. So that's what you will get in the CPQ. Basically, configure, price, and quote. Right? Once you click it, and then put in the in shopping cart, and then you will get a quotation, right? All those pricing. So that's what the CPQ is. CPQ is basically configure, price, quote. So this is another SAP solution which you can explore. So why I'm talking about CPQ is like, of course, we'll go through the in course for sales and distribution. But if you have exposure of CPQ, I think that will be very good. And then, like as I also mentioned right last time, from the remuneration perspective, from salary perspectives, if you know SAP OTC and CPQ, within like 2 years, if you have 2 years, 2 to 3 years of experience, you can easily expect 20 to 25 lakhs, right? So this is really hot skill sets right now. Okay. And then one more thing, right? Like these in these particular sessions, it will be more kind of functional. Right? So we also discussed last time there are two different career paths in SAP. One is functional, one is technical. Okay. So in these sessions, we will go through our functional things. Okay. So in sales and distribution, I'll explain one more time today, and then we'll go to the SAP real-time transaction codes which we will create. And then this is like easy module to learn. You don't have to be expert in any of like supply chain or manufacturing or any other processes to be SAP SD consultant. Okay. That's another thing I'd like to move this here. Fine. SAP SD sales and distribution. Another name of this module nowadays is SAP OTC. OTC, do you know? Can you guess what is the OTC? These are like functional thing, right? Which we do it not only in SAP side, even if you are on Oracle or any other any other ERP packages, you will see that order to cash. Okay. So anybody has like any sales background? Or even in day-to-day life, what do you do? Let's say if you want to buy, let's go again back to that laptops example. What is the first step we do if you, let's say if you got a job, not like from like if I as a consumer, right? So this is, there is another thing, right? In SAP thing which we will see in our transactions, it's more kind of B2B. It all big transaction from big organizations, right? We do it B2B. And what is B2B? Anyone?
Business to business.
Yeah, business to business, right? So business to business transactions. So when I'm talking about like in using that SAP, it is more kind of big organizations due to the B2B process. We'll also come to B2C, but mostly it's a B2B. So now let's say in example of India, let's say now uh, Tata Motors. Okay, so let's say Pankaj is working in Tata Motors. Okay, and he is working in the procurement department. Okay, like last time we discussed that if you're using SAP, it's like entire ERP is connected, like procurement. We discussed what all different departments, right? So Pankaj is working into Tata Motors in procurement department. Praveen ji is working, let's say Ericsson, which is really, it's reality, right, Praveen ji? Okay, so
Yeah.
Praveen ji is working in the sales side. So now Pankaj ji wants to buy 5,000 mobiles. Right? He got a job that all in Tata Motors, let's say during the Diwali, Tata Motors decided to give one handset to all of their employees. So these transactions will be what? Business to business or business to customer?
It's B2B.
Right? B2B.
Yes, B2B.
If, yeah,
B2B.
if Pankaj is buying a phone for himself, he will not reach out to Ericsson directly,
Right.
right? For big transactions. He will go to any stores and then buy any Ericsson's phones, right? So we in this SAP sessions, we are not talking about it when I am buying something. It's more corporate to corporate. So when Pankaj wants to buy 5,000 mobiles, what he will do the first thing? Till that time, let's say, forget about this one.
Raise,
Praveen.
uh,
So what
raise the
what
quotation. Raise the quotation.
yeah. So first, before even
Uh,
quotation, right? He will inquire
yes,
that
yes.
yeah. First thing, what he will do? He will inquiry, right? Quotation is fine, yeah. This is good answer, right? But inquiry about how many companies are making mobile, right? He will create a list, right? And then we'll send inquiry. He will ask something, right? So
Yes.
after inquiring, let's say he found 10 different companies which makes mobile. His job is to buy mobile from any company, right? Wherever he gets the best price, right? As a procurement manager, what is his job? To get best deal. So he will inquire, let's say 10 companies, and out of 10 companies, it's okay, you know what? 3 companies are too expensive. Example, like Apple, right? So if we will try to buy this, then probably, and then no offense to Ericsson Pravinji, but Apple will be expensive, right? iPhone will be expensive. So it's not in his budgets, right? For 5,000 mobiles. So he will not even ask further quotation. He already knows that, like, but he did that inquiry and then got some overall pictures. Okay. After inquiry, what will happen? What will happen? Like you mentioned about quotation. Right? Then what will happen? Inquiry is basically, let's say, on phone or email, fax, right? These things we use. Fax nowadays we are not using, but we are using that inquiry. That could be also looking into portal and their websites to find it. While doing that inquiry, I find okay, I got these details, but I'm not submitting any quotation type of thing. No RFQs, right? Any question on difference between inquiry and quotation?
No, Rajeev ji.
Yeah, good. So then after what will happen? He got a quotations from how many companies? Let's say out of 10, 3 is out, but he wants to do that 7 companies will send him quotation. Okay. So in quotation, what we will get? Usually we
Will
see that,
say
like if you do quotations, what do you say?
about a
Lowest price,
specification and
low,
pricing.
lowest
Pricing.
price, lowest price should be prioritized.
Okay.
Priority.
What else?
Price and
Specification.
delivery.
Delivery date, that is very important, that when it will be delivered, right? Because see, he's
Right.
expecting to deliver everything in Diwali,
Yeah.
but if he's getting during that Christmas, will there be any use? No, right? Because he has to deliver. So he has in that quotation, he is asking, okay, my requested delivery date, right? Requested delivery date, RDD. Requested delivery date is, let's say, in this in last week of October, so I can distribute it to all of my employees, right? So in
Right.
quotation, that is also important. But if you are from, let's say, Ericsson, what other things you will tell to the customer? That this particular quotation has also validity period, right? So it is not like open-ended quotation,
Right.
right? So we'll do that validity period. And then, of course, all those quantity and everything will be there, right? Validity period, pricing, quantity, requested delivery date, those things will be there. But tell me, is quotation is your order?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? Because quotation is basically you are asking, but it's not like legal binding or anything,
Yes.
right? So then after that, you will for making legal binding, what you will do?
PO, PO.
You will get a
Thank you.
contract, right? Contract,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because see, I'm
Yes,
talking about only
yes.
sales cycle, right? PO is also a good correct answers, but that will be from procurement side. From the
Okay.
now I'm point of sales, right? So in sales cycle, and I contradicted myself here. But then after what? After quotation, what will happen? Contract, and now contract between Ericsson and Tata Motors, right? So there will be a contract, correct? So now here also we have a contract for validity period. It will be valid only for certain time, right? There will be valid period, right? It will not be. And then now you have a contract pricing, right? So contract pricing. This is important, right? Inquiry, quotation, and contract. After contract, what will happen?
What comes under contract pricing?
So contract, see the price is very good question. So now what comes under contract pricing? So if it is 5,000 mobiles,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So price per unit is $400. Okay.
Okay.
But now let's say Tata Motors is buying only 500 mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
Will that price same?
No,
Will
of
you
course
sell
not.
the same?
Of course
Right?
not.
Right? Because then you will ask for a higher price.
Of course.
Right? Now, let's say you got another order from Reliance. Hey, Ericsson is getting. So, and Reliance is asking for instead of 5,000 mobiles, they will ask for 10,000 mobiles.
Mm-hmm.
So per unit price with Reliance and then with Tata Motors, it will be different,
Of course.
right? So this contract pricing is, but mobile phone is same,
Uh-huh.
right? But your contract pricing is basically for your product and with the customer,
Right.
right? So contract is different for your different customers, right?
Mm.
So there will be one list price. We'll talk about pricing in details, but there will be a list price, right?
Right.
There will be also MRP in India,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have a contract prices. So all these things are pricing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if Pravinji wants to buy a
Mm-hmm.
mobile from Ericsson from his own company, there will be employee discount, right?
Yeah.
So that pricing will be different. So employee pricing will be different. So pricing has different flavors. So it cannot be same for everybody, right? For the same material, but material is same, right? Ericsson, this particular mobile handset which we are talking about is same,
Mm-hmm.
but we have a different pricing. So in this particular contract, which I am a binding contract between Tata Motors and Ericsson, right? So they are in the contract now to deliver 5,000 mobile handsets. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what they are saying that, okay, we can deliver in certain dates, right? Like 5,000 quantity is fine, but we can do 2,000, let's say in the month of August, and then we'll create another 1,000 in for September and October. Okay. So those things will be in your contract, like when to deliver, right? How much to deliver. So what will happen? Like in this is, let's say you're in the month of August now. So in the contract, this is your total quantity, but for this one you have already delivered. So remaining contract, it will not be more than 5,000. I'll come to that point again. Still contract. Do you have any question? So now you got it, like what contract pricing is.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Sure.
Sometimes companies ask for a customized product, right?
Very good.
Like we are getting a handset from Ericsson now. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Samsung handset, but it's a complete customized. Okay.
Yes.
So in that case, the price, whatever the price of customization, it
Mm-hmm.
will occur under contract pricing or list pricing, means the product pricing.
Very good question. So it will be, see, list pricing is not for customized, right? List
Yeah.
pricing is basically for your product. Okay, I'll give you one more terminology over here. There
Hmm.
is something MTO, make to order. Have you heard about
Okay.
this?
Yeah.
And then there is some concept called MTS, make to stock.
Okay.
So list price is price always for MTS,
Yes.
right? Make to stock.
Hmm.
Anybody has any issues, right? Like to understand this, what is MTO and MTS? Do you understand this? This is very important concept. See, we maintain our inventory, right?
Hmm.
Please ask, like anybody, if you're not understanding, please ask. Like these things are, it's like all business, right? Business concepts, and then exactly that's what we will see in SAP. So there's no coding, nothing. It's all business scenarios. How we are mapping in SAP. That's what we'll learn in these sessions. Okay. So if you are freshers, right? If you have problem, if you do not understand list price, MRP, MTU, and MTS, let's discuss. Okay. So list price will be for MTS, make to stock. What is make to stock? Whatever you see in any stores, right? that is make to stock, right? And then we have a list price. This is not specific to a customer. Okay, so contract pricing card could be for your make to stock, or if it is make to order, and that's why I started this CPQ thing. Okay, so whenever it comes to make to stock, right? Not make to stock, make to order, then you have to provide what? Configuration. Think about like in our home in India. If you are building your home, we always customize things. It's not like in US where builder is giving you a standard home, that you can do customizations, whatever you want to change you can put on your roof, your doors, different colors. But if you're ordering something like that, or I think that's not a correct example, like if from B2B, because that will come to your B2C concept. Okay, so it's okay. Example again, back to Tata Motors. So Tata Motors is asking Pankaj ji that, hey, since we are giving these mobiles free to our employees, why don't we tell from whoever, like whichever vendor we are buying these mobile phones, to keep Tata logo? Do you get my point?
Yes,
The
Rajeev.
moment, the moment if Ericsson is putting Tata logo on those phones, what will happen? The same MTS will become your MTO, make to order, right? Because those phones are specifically created for, manufactured for Tata Motors, right? So if there is a customization, anything customization, if you are doing, that is your make to order. If without any customization, if you are getting out of the box, out of the shelf, that is your make to stock. Did we get it?
Yes.
Yeah. If anybody, again I'm telling you, if anybody has any questions on understanding, please raise your hand and ask questions, right? There is nothing wrong in asking, right? And then specifically for fresh business graduates, like fresh graduates, right? Because if you have engineering background, and then if you don't have any work experience, right, then we can ask these questions. And these things understanding is really necessary. I'll also say upload couple of books on supply chain management. Okay, so now we are good, right? Like list price, contract price. So now it comes to after contract, what will happen? After contract, there will be sales order, right? So in sales order, now Ericsson is saying that, okay, in August, what will happen in August? Ericsson will create an order, 2000, and then after that sales order, what will happen? There will be delivery document, right? Delivery, and then what happens after delivery? Creating delivery document. Now you are in the logistics side, right? Outbound logistics. So there will be something called like, have you heard about pick list? So pick list is kind of a document which will go to warehouse team, right? And that's how all these things comes under distribution. So these four things are part of your sales, and then other things are part of distribution. So now this is more kind of operations, right? So what will happen? Sales order is created. Now you have to deliver it to customer. So in by August, let's say by August 15th, Tata Motors has to receive 2000 mobile handsets, right? Did you get what is this delivery and pick list and warehouse? Let me explain one by one. So delivery document, whatever is the sales order, because the contract was, so contract was for 5,000. Sales order, right? Now sales order, we are not completely delivering on the same day, right? So sales order is for 2,000. We are creating a delivery document for 2,000. Why we are creating this delivery document, right? So this delivery document, we are sending it to my warehouse, right? So there will be some serial numbers also, right? So all these mobiles has their serial numbers. So there will be pick list which serial numbers we have to deliver, because the Ericsson is a big company. They have like hundred thousands of phones. Okay, so they have to pick which phone we are taking it, right? Each phone has their own serial number. So what will happen? They will do that packing, picking and packing, right, in the warehouse. Complete silence. Any confusion?
No, Rajeev.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah,
Try to understand and clear it.
yeah. Think about it in warehouse, right? What do you do in warehouse? What is it? What you see warehouse where we have all those phone, like any goods, right? Stacks in big boxes, right? Big cartons, big boxes
Yes.
are there. So
Yes, sir.
out
So
of those big boxes, hmm,
yes, sir. So we received the good boxes at the warehouse.
yeah, exactly. So pick list, then basically the delivery you are creating to create actually a printout where you have to plan it accordingly, right? It's not like warehouse people will go anything and any box can be delivered, right? You have to plan it. So pick list, what will happen? Basically, either you will tell, okay, we are delivering these serial numbers because let's say if Tata Motors is asking for that logo, then you have to deliver only those specific serial numbers to Tata Motors wherever we have created this logo, right? So it's not like any random picking will be there. Specific numbers you will tell, it's a serial number, warehouse folks to scan it, pick it, pack it, and then ship it, right? So now in shipment, what will happen? There are a couple of ways to ship it, right? Earlier days, right? All companies had their own trucks, but now there's something called third party logistics. Third party logistics, or like shipping company like FedEx, DHL, UPS, right? So if you see, you'll hardly see anything now that any company is shipping their own things, right? Like they are not using their own trucks, right? Because there is a business principle of core competency and diversification. We'll talk that later on, but this is more kind of like management fundamentals. Like whatever is your core expertise, focus on your core expertise, right? Ericsson has core expertise on mobile, creating mobile, not the transportation, right? So they should not go for some areas where they are not expert, right? But FedEx, DHL, UPS, right? They are the experts. So outsource to third party logistics. Okay. So then outsource to third party. So they will come to your warehouse and then we'll do shipment for you. Okay. And in shipment, there could be different flavors, right? Like who will pay for the shipment? Is it part of my contract? Again, it will go to the contract, right? So who will pay for the freight, right? Who is paying for all those delivery charges and other things? Is it included in the 5,000 delivery contract? Like Ericsson is saying that I'll pay, I'll manufacture it, I'll send it to you, but it is already all inclusive, or you have to pay the freight cost. Right? We are shipping it to you, and that's how we see, right? We always see, let's say in Amazon or anything, right? We see that there'll be shipping and handling fees. Have you
So this
noticed?
shipping charges We based on the agreement, I hope. Whatever
Yes.
agreement makes
Uh-huh.
by both company.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely right. So those things will be the charges, right? Like the way we have Amazon Prime. So if couple of things, if it is included in Amazon Prime, then your shipping will be free. It is, and Amazon Prime is what? Basically, your membership is your contract. Correct. But if you don't have, then customer has to pay. But someone has to pay, right? Because FedEx will not be free. So either Ericsson has to pay or Tata Motors has to pay. But that's fine. Right? Till now, any question?
No, Rajiv ji.
Okay. So now it is delivered to Tata Motors. Now what will happen? There will be billing, right? Billing and invoice. So we had a contract for 5,000, but since we are delivering only 2,000, so what will be my billing and invoice? For how much quantity?
It will be part payment on the
Yeah,
basis
so this
of.
will be for 2,000, right? It will be
Yeah.
2,000, right? So whatever you have delivered, it will be paid by Tata Motors to Ericsson, and then what will happen after that? So you are sending, so these things, all those things is happening where? Ericsson, right? Of course, Tata Motors is what? So in this case, if I take it this example, so this is my organization where we have SAP, right? Ericsson, and then customer is Tata Motors. So this is your sales cycle, and from customer side it is procurement, right? This one is selling, Ericsson is selling, Tata Motors is buying. So billing and invoice will go to Tata Motors, right? For 2,000. And then what will happen after billing and invoice? What happens? You pay, Tata Motors will pay, and then what it will do? Ericsson will do what? Receive money, right? So in SAP terminology, it says that AR, this is AP, accounts receivable and account payable, and that's what is sales and distribution from here till here. This is your sales and distribution, SD, and then as you mentioned also OTC, order to cash. So here this is pre-sales activities, but from here order to cash, right? You are receiving cash or bank or whatever, right? Once you stated receive, I think this will go here, cash. So another name for sales and distribution is order to cash, the entire cycle. Any question till now, or am I going too fast?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So now go back to SAP screen. Okay, so we have seen like how to log in and other things. So if you see the sales and distribution, That's what you see. We'll talk about master data, but that's exactly what we saw. Inquiry, quotation, order, contract. This is not in the correct sequence, but inquiry, quotation, contract, order, and then there will be delivery and other things. That will be part of shipping and transportation. Outbound delivery, picking, packing, and other stuffs. As I mentioned here, like order to cash starts from order. So most of these companies, right? Inquiry, quotation, contract are in different systems. Right? Let's say if you are using multiple ERPs, and then it comes that CPQ, configure price code. So all those things will be part of CPQ or Salesforce. Right? That's another one, right? Another uh, company, another software. So most of the time, companies use CPQ. Right? And CPQ is basically a terminology. It could be configure price code from Salesforce or SAP, Oracle. There are various vendors. Right? So configure price code. So in SAP, in sales and distribution, the scope of these sessions will be order till billing document. We'll also cover these things, but there are not much a difference. We'll look into those. But order, how to configure from order to billing document is the scope of your sales and distribution, or we can say order to cash. Okay. So create. So in the order type, right? In order type, you will see there could be different order types. Let's talk about like order types now. Just thinking. We'll we'll see different like all those things. How did we configure it? These things are coming from your configuration. We'll see how to configure those in SAP. Okay. And then there is one more very important aspect. That's what we'll start. First, let me create one sales order. Okay, and then we'll discuss about details at all those what are the things are over here. Sold to party. Let me first create one and then I'll explain it. I'm creating a sales order in SAP. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. Sold to party. This is very important aspects for like in SAP side. So these things like whatever you are, let's say if you are creating any of the sales order, what is the first thing you enter?
The product name is product type or name.
Customer name.
Customer name, right? So this is exactly. So in SAP, there are three things, right? In the sales order. First thing is your customer. Okay, these things come, I know there is little confusion, but I'll explain here. So in the sales order, we have three things here, like header data, which is controlled by your customer. And then you enter product name, which is your material, and then you enter quantity. So I'm entering quantity here. I'll explain, don't worry, don't get so confused on that. Okay, so if you see, I just enter some code and all those things are already filled. Okay, so I'll talk about a little bit of customer and we'll see in the details for each field. So don't get panic if you are not getting this, like what happened here, how are we getting all those things. So customer, right? So in SAP, let's talk about, today we'll talk about only for customer. Okay. Again, I'll go back to my Excel file. So customer in SAP, we have a terminology for sold to party. Okay, so let's go to the same example of Ericsson and Tata Motors. So in this particular thing, so let me see. So what Pankaj is saying here, Tata Motors is requiring for 5,000 mobiles, but there are these 5,000 mobiles will be delivered to 4 different locations. Okay, one will be in Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Delhi. Okay, so these are 4 different locations, but order will be submitted by my corporate office. These are also Tata Motors locations. Please ask questions if you have any query on this one. So what will happen here? Like if you order even pizza or if you buy anything, right? It asks for 2 things: your address, your billing address, and then your shipping address. Did you notice that? If you are processing any order online,
Yes, it is.
right? It asks for your ship to locations,
Right.
right? And because see, you are ordering and then you want the shipment somewhere else, and then if you are paying by your credit card, it asks for the billing address as well. And then there is also check mark, right? If you see in online if ordering anything, that is your address same as shipping and billing, right? So in
Correct.
SAP, the person who is creating that order wherever you have that contract with, that is known as sold to party. So in this case, Tata Motors corporate office in Mumbai, right? So corporate office is basically ask is making this contract, right? Corporate office. And then ship to is, there are 4 different locations, right? 4 different locations is my ship to parties. Okay, bill to, and there is something called pair. So see in our like layman terms, like how to understand more details like this one: sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and pair. Okay, as I explained, right? B2C is not for the SAP much, right? But let's to understand this, I'll give you an example. Okay, so let's say Amarnath is placing an order, okay, to buying a laptop for his grandson in Bihar. Okay, so he's placing an order in Amazon. Okay, so he's the one who is creating order. Okay, ship to party will be his grandson in Bihar. Okay, what is saying? Send this bill to my company because I got a voucher that I can place one order of let's say $2,000 to buy anything. So my company, I will use my company's credit card to pay the bill. So in that case, what will happen? Sold to party is Amarnath ji, right? Ship to party location in Bihar. Bill to party, he's ordering, but he doesn't want bill. He wants bill to paid by his company, Intel. Okay, Intel, let's say NJ office, but the actual payer will be Intel corporate office because it's a corporate credit card. Did you get it here, or any confusion? I can give you another example. So in one sales order, in one sales cycle, there could be a scenario where all four parties are different. Do you see it's a, like a valid scenario?
Pretty relatable.
Yeah. Or like say in Raksha Bandhan, right? We buy something, we order from here, and it is delivered to anywhere, right? It's not at the same place. You are buying for some gift for any person, right?
Yeah, it's a valid quotation, means valid order.
Suppose we like in TCS we have some wow employees vouchers
Mhm,
which is from Amazon.
mhm,
So they provide some coupons.
mhm,
So if TCS is buying coupons from Amazon
mhm.
and the billing is from like it will be from which company? Yeah. Uh, um, I'm just
No,
imagine.
billing, right? So in that case, right, like whoever is paying the final pay, right? Because you have already
Okay.
bought that. So whoever using that credit card, where the account payable, right, will be done by the customer. That whoever is paying the final pay, so that is your payer, right? So this is to
Okay.
process your billing document. Okay, I'll explain one thing here.
Rajivji is some the good. Rajivji is a good example. So my company Jabil give the 5,000 Reliance voucher to on the Diwali occasions
Mhm,
to every employee.
mhm.
Yes. So 5,000 rupees amount Reliance voucher to go to Reliance Mart and getting purchase some things and other. So voucher as a credit as a debit card
Mhm,
as a,
mhm.
they give to other debit card. You go to the any shops and purchase it as a gift. The amount is the 5,000 rupees. So how is the transaction will it?
Yeah, yeah, I'll explain to you. So let's say if you are going to Shopper Stop in Mumbai, okay, it's a mall, okay, with your voucher. So this again, I told you, right? This is not more kind of a B2C. I was giving you an example, right? Business to customer. But think about in that B2B perspective, right?
Rajeev,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. In pricing, how do we consider the reward and this coupon things? Like
I'll come to that.
in
I'll
the
come.
B2B section also, suppose that I have already means, contracted with Tata Motors for something, and the Tata Motors offered me that for your next order, you will get something on this. So how we are managing this rewards and all things in pricings?
Yeah, yeah. It will. I'll come to that. I'll come to
Okay,
that point.
thank you.
Okay. Okay. So think about this, right? Voucher and other things are all credit things are for your paying, but it does not impact on your pricing. So if shopper stop like anything, if you are buying from any mall or anything, pricing will be same. If you are using your check, credit card, cash or voucher, pricing is not changing. That the only thing is changing is how you are paying to the customer to the shop. Correct?
Payment method only it will change.
Exactly. That's what I'm coming here. So payment method is changing, but your pricing and other things are not changing. Okay. So I'll come to that point. First, let's clarify these
So
four
Rajeev
parties.
sir, how about the super coins and everything? They provide super coins as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll come to those points, like the method of payments. But try to
Okay.
understand first this sold to party, shipped to party, billed to party, and payer, right? And why it is very important. Okay. So sold to party, when it is required, this is required for your contract and your sales order. So this is kind of like in the sales order there could be only one and one sold to party. Okay, in one sales order there could not be two different customer sold to party as a sold to party. Example, two persons cannot create one order in Amazon. And two person the moment if the system will automatically do two different orders. But while ordering, you can create an order and with two different locations, ship to locations, right? So if you're buying two laptops, you don't have to submit two different sales orders. You can say one location I have to ship it to Mumbai, one in Delhi. Like I have two relatives over there, I can create one orders for two ship to parties. Okay, so there will be only one sold to party in one sales order. There cannot be two different customers. So basically sold to party is the boss for the sales order, like how I'm ordering, where it will be shipped, how I will pay, all those things I am the boss, I have to decide. That's your sold to party, right? If I have to deliver it through FedEx, UPS, FedEx ground, FedEx air, all this is my thing, right? Because I am paying for it. I am ordering, I'm paying is different thing. I am ordering, then I will decide how to pay, what will be my contract, how other things, what will be my quantity and other things I have to decide. Okay, clear on this one, sold to party. So in this case, same example, Tata Motors, right? So Tata Motors will decide if I have to make 1,000 quantity to Mumbai or 4,000 quantity and zero to Chennai and Delhi. I have to decide. I will tell Ericsson when to decide, when to deliver, how much quantity to deliver, what will be my pricing and other things, because I am the boss here. Like I am ordering it, so I am the sold to party here. So the sales order, it will be always your sold to party. So that's why in SAP we have sold to party. Like there will be only one sold to party. So I'll show you again. I'll explain this whole thing details. But this sold to party, and if it is entered, you cannot change it. But you can enter multiple ship tos, right? Because this particular material I want to send. Let's say if I want to enter another one, I want to send one material to Chennai, one to Delhi, or one other places. So I can change at locations. Like these things are locations. These are different hospitals. I can change this. Okay, but do not get for the technical part in SAP. But think about from business perspectives. Okay, so sold to party is your main customer in the sales order or in the contract or inquiry quotation, all those things. Till here, your sold to party is contract creating all those things, controlling. Now delivery part, right? Once the moment if you come to delivery, it is changed now. Now ship to party is the boss. The reason, where it will be delivered, at what time I will be available to receive your material or not, it's my decision, right? I have to be there. My address should be correct address. It will be my contact number when FedEx is selling, when FedEx is delivering to goods to you. They need your signature, not that customer signature anymore. This customer is somewhere else. Customer is sitting in Mumbai, but if you are delivering it to Delhi, right? So here, ship to party where you are sending that goods should be available to receive things, right? So Ericsson has to talk to that person that hey, when you will be available. Think about from corporate world, right? So when Ericsson is sending mobile, let's say 1000, 2000 and 1000. So Ericsson has to contact, hey, are you open on in this particular day? Right? I cannot because see, let's say Kolkata and Mumbai has some like say some holidays or something, but that holiday is only in specifically to Kolkata, right? There is something it's a different calendar they are following. So Ericsson cannot send that when they are on holidays in Kolkata. They will not look for the corporate office that okay, what is their calendar? They have to look for the of place where they are delivering it. Okay. So let's talk only about the sold to and shipped to first before we go to bill to party and the pair. Any question till now? Like for sold to party and shipped to party, bill to a pair and pair. Let's keep it on par right now. So ship to party could be multiple in the sales order, right? We can see that like we'll not process any order, but we can see anywhere, right? In Amazon, any if I see my order history, right? So we'll always see the tracking package and other information. See, that's how it is. Ship to in Amazon, right? So ship to party could be anything, any at different places. It's not. It does not have to be your own address, right? And then you can see view order details and view invoice. We'll talk that later. But that's how we always use, right? Like even for pizza delivery, let's say uh, you are sitting in that office, but you are ordering using your credit card, right? And then from office, your kids are at home. You want to order pizza for them, and it will be delivered to their schools or at home or wherever, right? So in that case, your ship to party will be the address where pizza is delivered. Okay, and then you are a sold to party, and then the address would be different. Okay, so let's go back to the sales order. We'll just do that cursory view. What are the other things we can see, we are seeing here? So this is your sold to party. This is your ship to party. Customer reference number is basically your purchase order number, right? In this case here, let's say if you are buying something, again, it's like kind of B2B. So I told here, right? See here, this is your sales cycle. This is for Ericsson, but procurement is something from Tata Motors. So if Tata Motors is buying something, then they will create a purchase order, right? That's what it happens, right? You create a purchase order, and then other company will create a sales order for you. Any question on this, like a purchase order? There is a different cycle. We will also go through that when we will go to the procurement cycle. It's a different cycle. The way we have inquiry from procurement side, this will be different. RFQ, right? Request for quotation, and then RFI, request for I think intended
And
something
request
RFI.
for information.
Yes. So RFI and then RFQ, but those things will be from procurement side. RFI, RFQ, and then here will be PO, purchase order. When really you want to buy, then you will generate a purchase order, and then from other side it's B2B, right? From other side it will be sales order. So this purchase order number is basically your customer reference number in SAP. This is your customer reference. So once you are creating an order, you will know like what is for which purchase order, which PO we are creating this, right? So PO number 1234. So these things are coming from the purchase order number. This one, when customer is creating this, when customer is asking for that customer reference date. Okay. Any question on this section? sold to, shipped to, customer reference, and customer reference date. Okay. And then this is the one which Pankaj was talking about, the payment terms. Right? What is my payment terms? What, like, how it will be, payment methodology is also there, but there is something also called payment terms. This is also important factor. When customer will pay to you, right? Sometimes we see, remember, like in sixth grade we had some maths questions, right? If you pay within 14 days, you will get a 2% cash discount. And then remember, like, and 30, and then 2% within 14 days, right? So what will happen if you are paying on certain days, how much discount you will get? So these are your payment terms. You have to pay within 30 days. That's your due net. Otherwise, you have to pay APR, interest. Right? So in B2B, it's not like immediately you have to pay or you have to pay in advance, right? There will be certain contracts when you process the payment, when you will get a payment. There is also something called INCO terms, right? This is like once you'll go in supply chain side, then you will know something called INCO terms is international commercial terms. Right? You don't have to go in details, like you don't have to understand the entire business. You will see these things where to maintain. Okay, this is like INCO terms, which is more kind of like an export scenario, right? When it will be delivered to, what will be the ownership, right? When that ownership will be transferred. Okay, and all these details are coming from your customer master. Right? So all other details, pricing dates, customer pricing group, right? These details we'll see once we'll go to customer master, right? In SAP, earlier we had a customer master. Now there is a new concept in S4 HANA called business partner. This is my customer master, which will go in details. Probably next session we'll focus on customer master, business partners, how to create it, and what are the functionalities. So I'll stop today here, like, and on showing in SAP, and then I'll request you to go through this book to understand whatever we discussed today. We have videos for all. Right? If you go in these folders, go through this particular book, and then you can go couple of order to cash cycle. That's what we discussed today.
Rajeev ji, before closing the session, can you please answer for my question?
Sure.
How do we segregate the payment option? Do we have any option in our tool? Like whatever the payments we are transferring, like a few amounts through cash or card and few amounts through rewards. So do we have any option over there?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's not that exactly the same way,
Okay.
but in SAP we have something. Let me see if I customer payment transactions. See this bank card, bank keys, and other things you can maintain here. The credit card, your bank account number,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can see, as I mentioned, right, this is more kind of B2B transactions
Yeah.
in SAP, right? For and then in B2B transactions, you will not use like this kinds of voucher and other things.
But offer should be there, right?
Yes, yes,
So how do we consider those things? Means offer. In case we are purchasing 5,000, so the pricing will be different. And if we are getting any um beneficiary things, like suppose
yes,
that any gift on that.
yeah, yeah,
So how do we maintain those records?
yeah.
Like
So
suppose
that's
that
what.
I have 5,000 mobiles, and
Yes,
on top of that, they are offering few laptops for free. So
Yeah, yeah.
company is making manufacturing those products, they are means spending some money. So they have to keep all those records as well. So those records
Absolutely.
comes under this means transaction, or there is another thing, any other
No,
thing.
no, the same transactions, right? You are on this, you are on the right track. So your question is valid. So if you see this, all these things will be covered into pricing, right? Once we'll talk about pricing, right? Pricing calculations. So if you see,
Uh-huh.
there are different condition types, right? Price discounts, buying
Okay.
group discount, right? All those discounts in a different levels, right?
Mhm.
At what level you are buying. So all those things can be configured into the condition types, which we will discuss, right? The
Mhm.
pricing part, right? All those pricing, total discounts, 100% discounts are also, right? Let's say free goods. If you are buying 10, then 2 will be free.
Right,
Or we have a scenario in SAP where if you are buying the same goods 10, then price will be charged only for 9.
right.
We get it. There are two different concepts here, inclusive and exclusive. So if you are buying, let's say 5 pens, 2 notebooks will be free. There will also a scenario where if you are buying 5, 4 will be free. One is 4 will be you have to pay, and one will be free for the same material, right? Based on certain conditions like how are you paying, when are you paying. So those things are there too. There's also concept for cash discount, which we discuss now. That if you're buying within that particular time, you will get 2% of cash discount. Right? So
Yeah.
those things, yes, in SAP, it is covered in detail, right? If you say there are different types of ways to for
Mhm.
pricing, cost, cash discount, surcharges, handling, freight, taxes.
So this is a billing part or this is a contract part? Because while doing the contract, I believe at that time they might have put the discount factor also there,
That's correct.
right? Because
Yes, yes.
in billing, maybe they will show that this could be a chance to get a discounted price, but in contract it should be there document,
Absolutely. So billing is nothing. At billing time of billing, you cannot negotiate these things.
right?
Billing
Correct.
will be exactly copied whatever you have in the sales order, right? And the sales order it will come from your contract, right? What was the contract? So yes, so all those pricing and other things will be determined those rules in that contract itself, and that's what we will see. We will not create every time a contract. I'll explain it to you. There is something that in the pricing. There is a concept for say VK11. How are you creating a ZPCP contract pricing? We have different ways. These are different models to create your one simple pricing, the contract pricing. Okay, it could be your sales ordination shift to, there are some indicators, material, then let's say pricing group, right? Let's say you are clubbing couple of customers like by diamond customers, right? We'll always give some discounts to companies whose turnover is over, let's say, five 500 billion or something. No, not 500, that's too much. $10 billion, right? If your revenue is $10 billion, I'll put in one group, and then I want to make a good relationship, so I'll give you extra discount. If you're a smaller customer, sometimes I will give you a discount, but discount will not be huge, right? So you can create your customer in different groups, which we'll see next week when we'll do the deep dive on the customer master. Okay, so all those things define like this. This is just to maintain one pricing condition type. Certain cases, right? I'm sold to party, but my end customer, let's say, is hospital. I'm doing some charitable work. Okay, so in that case, I should my pricing should be different. Only if you that particular customer, my hospital is in the sales order, then my pricing will be different. So that there are like multiple ways, and these are not like hard. You can also create your own rule, and that's what we see in the configuration. Right? How to configure this? This is like configured system. Right? How to create those different rules based on your business requirement, and that's what we as an SAP consultant do to configure SAP system to accommodate business requirements. So in this case, right, I go back to our Ericsson example. So Ericsson has some other business requirement. So that's how we configure SAP to fulfill their requirements. Okay. So in next week we'll talk about details in the business partner concept, the customer master, right? And then we'll talk about project implementation, or we can even we have some time we can talk how SAP projects works.
Rajesh, one more question.
Sure.
Do we have any option for customization or alteration? Means suppose that if we found any unforeseen circumstances,
Yeah.
like the order which is not ever getting, means the company they didn't get any order
Yes.
as per previous record, and they have some additional things. So can we add those things as well in SAP?
Yeah. So
The
that's
price,
what actually
the
for the
customization.
project life cycle, right?
Yeah,
How SAP works, right? Like there is a different deployment phase. Okay, and then I'll
yeah,
talk about details. So let's spend some time on project management side.
sure.
Okay.
So Rajiv ji and Pankaj ji, I think let us take little time for the logistic. So I think this is a good point to stop, Rajiv ji, so that we can
Yeah.
talk a little bit, couple of other things. And what
Yes.
I'm requesting is, Pankaj, please stop what you call taping right now, because we are going to talk a little bit like personal emails, and